Hello, fellow mutants. Welcome back to another video. We're blessed with the presence of Nemo in this video, and in this video, I am going to review Swamp Thing. Now, Swamp Thing is a DC hero's character. I honestly don't know much about Swamp Thing, so I don't know whether or not Swamp Thing is necessarily a bad guy or a good guy, or one of those anti-heroes. Uh, which I should have probably checked before. Pause. Unpause. So, sorry. So apparently, Swamp Thing, according to this, is a fictional anti-hero. Okay. Well, yeah, nice to know. He's an anti-hero. So, I watched the first episode of Swamp Thing. Now, I knew Swamp Thing was like a DC Nation show. The only time where I've seen the character Swamp Thing live action was at the end of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, there's no way at the moment that's like, I'm not saying that was a confirmation of this version, like this series Swamp Thing is part of the Arrowverse. Because if having Swamp Thing was a confirmation that Swamp Thing the show is part of the Arrowverse, then Stargirl would be the same way too. But I've not heard anything about Stargirl being confirmed to be a part of the Arrowverse. All I've heard was they are open for Stargirl show to be part of the Arrowverse, but that's not a confirmation. So up until Stargirl and Swamp Thing is confirmed to be part of the Arrowverse, I'm not counting those two shows as part of the Arrowverse. Now going back to the main reason why I making this video, and I swear this little boy is going to get annoyed by me towards the end of this video, but. So Swamp Thing is a pretty good show. I mean, like, from the first episode I've seen, it's pretty good. Now the first two episodes is on the CW app, and so I'm going to watch the second episode right after I'm done making this review. So pretty much what happens in this episode, pretty much everybody's getting sick. And the scientists are trying to figure out what's causing the people to get sick. That's practically the basis of the show. Now, I kind of thought at first, that because there's this little girl who kind of coughs out a leaf, and she passes out. I thought at first, up until I remembered, I don't think this can happen, where this little girl was going to be Swamp Thing. But no. Then I remembered. Swamp Thing appears to be a grown man. So unless if, like, the fines around Swamp Thing can mask the girl's identity to make her look like a grown man, I doubt Swamp Thing is going to be the girl. That's the conclusion I went to when I was watching this episode. This girl's important to the episode. I don't know about the next episode, but she's important to this episode. And she is she gets hospitalized as well as other people. And there's this one part where this main character, who's a doctor, and her new friend, they do this autopsy type deal, where there's this body that is I guess one of Swamp Thing's victims, and they take a sample and they study it. They see the cells are alive, and it's going in a weird way for humans. Then the human, the guy with the Swamp Thing victim, rises up and does some really crazy shit. Of course, with fines. And I said to myself, this is exactly why this show is coming out in October. Because this is some horror type shit. Freaks perfectly to come out on the CW in the month of the spooks. I wish it would came out a bit like a week or two sooner. I wish I knew about this like a little bit sooner. I did not know about this show being on the CW until I was streaming God of War, and one of the people that was watching, one of my mods, actually told me about this show being on the CW, and I said I gotta check this shit out, and they checked this shit out, and oh, that's the thing I'm subscribing. Like, I don't get scared easily, and I didn't get scared, but there was like some chills going down my spine, man. It was, oh. And then, just the end of the episode, the two main characters of this episode goes to the swamp where we seen in the episode earlier. The dude dies, at least he appears to die, and the woman looks for him. Swamp Thing comes out, which I'm guessing this guy that's been the main character of this episode is Swamp Thing. Is Swamp Thing making you feel dirty, Nemo? Is me talking about Swamp Thing making you feel dirty? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Love you too. Say whatever, Dad. But nah, I'm guessing this guy's Swamp Thing because when he was in the water, like he was like I'm on the verge of dying. He, like, the fines got a hold of him, and we don't see what happens in the water. But I'm guessing like the fines saved him, and he became Swamp Thing. He freaks the shit out of the girl. Swamp Thing freaks the crap out of the girl who runs screaming, and we just see the guy, Swamp Thing, just laying there on the body of ground. Honestly, reminded me of Anakin or Vader at the end of Revenge of the Sith, after Obi-Wan cuts off Anakin's non-robotic arm and his legs, and after Anakin becomes burnt. Yeah, Swamp Thing kind of reminded me of Anakin then. Yeah. And then that's when the episode ended. So I'm going to watch episode 2 after this review, but this was supposed to be like my vague spoilerish talk. I purposely left as much spoiler-free as I can in this video, but I'm going to still title this spoiler review, so you guys won't get mad at me for saying, you spoiled it! Okay. But, yeah, Swamp Thing, I think it's a pretty good show. The acting is great. I have no issue with that show. I really have no issue with that show. I can't wait till episode 2. Now, granted that I did say earlier in the video that up until I hear it from the people behind the Arrowverse or the Soul Runners of Swamp Thing, up until I hear the Swamp Thing and Stargirl is part of the Arrowverse, I'm not going to count Swamp Thing as part of the Arrowverse. With that said, I can kind of see them moving the show Swamp Thing into the Arrowverse, because they, like with Stargirl, they have a clear ways view in making Swamp Thing a canon in the Arrowverse. I mean, Stargirl, kind of going back to Stargirl for a second, Stargirl is on Earth too. They were in the end of like the Crisis on Infinite Earths. And same characters, same look, like same characters, actors too. Now, the Arrowverse could say like, yeah, screw you, Stargirl. We're using the same actors, but not having it really connect to that show. If that makes sense. Same with Swamp Thing, but I highly doubt that they would go that route if they use those characters. So the thing I'm getting at is that I can honestly see the people behind Swamp Thing saying, yeah, let's put this in the Arrowverse. I want this to be in the Arrowverse. But yeah, this show is a really good, like, this episode was a really good episode. I was invested in this episode. I cannot wait until I watch episode 2, which shall be right after I'm done recording this video. Do I recommend you guys watching this show? Yes. If you're a comic book fan, yes. Now, what do I think will happen in episode 2? I think Swamp Thing will try to communicate with a girl in episode 2. And for at the very least half of the episode, the girl is going to be afraid of Swamp Thing. But by towards the end of episode 2, if not episode 2, then episode 3, the girl will learn to not be scared of Swamp Thing and to trust Swamp Thing, befriend Swamp Thing, and eventually, like within the first 2, like by the end of the second episode or the third episode, they're going to form an alliance again. Because before they had an alliance, but now that the guy is now Swamp Thing, assuming that my theory is correct, I can see an alliance happening. But what do you guys think? Have you guys seen Swamp Thing episode 1? Let me know what you guys think of it. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Love you all, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you guys later. Have a wonderful day.